Have you ever gone somewhere and thought to yourself, this place is weird? I love places like that, whether it's in real life or in a video game. So, with your permission, I would like to take you on a little tour of some odd and unremarkable places in Star Wars Battlefront 2 from 2005. We're going on a trip, me and you, right now. Roll the footage. Welcome to the planet Endor, and welcome to a remote, secluded little section away from all the action. Believe it or not, there is a war happening, maybe, I don't know, 600 feet that way. But when you come to this part of the map on Endor, you wouldn't know it. One of the interesting things about Battlefront 2, and this is something that's going to come up as we look at all of these, is the way that this is laid out is they have these maps, and they make these pretty sizable maps, and then they put these command posts on the map. You can see all those little dots there, right? And when you play the game, 100% of your time is spent at those little dots or in between them, and you'll pretty much never find any of the AI or really yourself, because there's no reason to, outside of those sort of desire paths, as you might think of them. So a lot of maps in this game have places where if you pull up the minimap and you just look where the command posts are and go as far away from them as possible, you stumble across these weird little, I guess almost peaceful alcoves that have nothing going on, that you probably never set foot in despite having played this game for countless hours as a teenager or middle school or whatever. And I suppose I say they feel peaceful, but maybe that is just because this particular map, it just feels like we're camping at the moment, and we're so far away from any Star Wars iconography that it doesn't even feel like Star Wars anymore. It just feels like we're in the woods. One thing I like about this particular little zone is looking this way. First of all, the game looks pretty good. This is a 20-year-old game, so it holds up pretty well visually. But when you turn around, you see something that, of course, you will never see in real life, which is a wall made of trees, also known as a tree wall. This is one of the things the game designers use to, at least from far away, not make it look too jarring that the map just suddenly ends. But when you get up close to it, it feels pretty weird. It makes it feel a bit like that Hunger Games dome. You ever see that movie, Hunger Games? Now, of course, it's a little funny because they go through all the work to build this wall in this place that you'll never come anyway. But you can't walk. The last 10 feet of it, you can't walk or else it'll kill you. You know, it warns you. And I'm thinking, why not put the leaving battlefield barrier like 50 feet that way so you can't get this close to it? But no, they let you. They let you walk all the way up to it, which is interesting. So anyway, yeah, if you ever wanted to experience what it would be like to spend a day walking around a national park on Endor, this is what it would be like. Very much like walking around a national park on Earth, as it turns out. All right, the next place I'd like to show you is a place I affectionately refer to as the Creepy Pit Corner on Geonosis. Over there, you can see that there's a war happening. That's the nature of Star Wars. It's right in the name. But we're not concerned about that. We're concerned about this. What is this giant pit doing on Geonosis? And why does this corner feel so creepy? So here's where we are on the minimap, all the way over to the left. Much like on Endor, we basically are just running as far away from any of the action as humanly possible. The difference is, rather than feeling like we're camping, if we look this way, it just feels like we're observing a war. And if we look this way, it feels like we're about to face certain death. And unfortunately, you can't actually go all the way around the pit. You can get pretty close, but it really doesn't like you to go over there. You got this out-of-place rock with no additional sort of accoutrements. Perhaps the artists were inspired by God's greatest creation, the Grand Canyon, and they simply wanted to add something that had a small slice of the splendor of Arizona. And I think one of the things about this pit that's so weird to me is, okay, you spawn over there when you play as I'm playing as the clones, you know, the clone team. So you spawn over there. You get over here and you go and fight the battle this way. So when you walk up this way, you see this pit and you go, oh, it's a barrier. You know, it's trying to be a non-artificial barrier to the edge of the map so it doesn't feel out of place. But if you walk a little bit further up, you can just go around and climb all the way up here. You know, there's nothing going on here. It's not like this is a part of the map you would ever go to. But they let you walk all the way up here. So it doesn't really serve any gameplay purpose at all. So I gotta think the point of it is aesthetics, and in a way I guess I respect that, because it is a very weird pit. You know, it does make me feel weird. You can't go into the pit without instantly dying, despite the fact that, you know, it's maybe what, 40 feet down that way. Oh boy. Oh. So yeah, that's the pit, the creepy Geonosis pit. I really gotta capture a command post here. We're gonna lose. Hello and welcome to perhaps my favorite odd and unremarkable place in Star Wars Battlefront 2. This is Naboo, home planet of Padme Amidala. And this is a giant pond near a bunch of tree walls underneath what is perhaps the most remarkable skybox in the game, near some windows that have some of my favorite lighting in the game. This isn't really a place you're supposed to be able to get to too easily normally. You can kind of walk along this weird little edge and it'll let you get out here, but if you don't keep pushing the stick, you'll fall into the water and die. And you can stand on any of these little, I don't know, what are they, planter boxes? A lot of really weird vibes, especially right here. This weird out-of-place building that you can see behind. What is going on with that? You know, the job of all these fringe elements is to convince you that there's a larger world outside of the map, you know? And boy, when you get up close to him, I mean, what? Who's going in that door? Dobby? Such weird vibes in this corner, man. Ah, the edge of the map. Amazing. So yeah, this whole pond area on Naboo, it definitely qualifies for me as odd and unremarkable. And out of all these things that we've talked about, this is the one that I think when you stop and properly take it in, you are the most surprised about what you see, because you don't think of this map, Naboo, as being a particularly sort of atmospherically dense map. But when you turn the music off and you look at what you're looking at here, I mean, for Christ's sake, this is a real vibe they got going on out here in the quiet parts of Naboo. I could see why Padme wanted to live here, you know, go fix up the baby's room. Do you think this is the lake she was talking about? Probably not. All right, last one, everybody, and my personal favorite. Welcome to Bespin's creepy, unfinished alleyways. A lot of you bring up in the comments of these particular videos, we talk about liminal spaces. People like to talk about the backrooms lore, all that stuff, of course, and all that's super cool. I'm into it. If Star Wars Battlefront 2 has backrooms, it's this, unquestionably. This Bespin map is just a maze of weird, flat, unfinished locations on the fringes. Like, what is this? What is going on? What are you doing here? Oh, thank you so much. I mean, talk about places you would never go in a regular AI battle in Battlefront 2. Like, this is supposed to be the streets of Bespin? Or what? If they made this game again today, which I suppose they did, and they did have a Bespin map, maybe I should go look at that, because I remember liking that game. There would be like a little bench in this alleyway, or like a portrait of Lando Calrissian or something. So what this map really amounts to is you've got a giant center that people fight in, and then a bunch of hallways, and then if you want to take the time to run out of the way and go look where they put Luke in carbonite, you can. Oh, I died. So you have all this stuff, all this fighting area in the middle of the map, right? But if you take one wrong turn, suddenly you've ended up in God knows where. I mean, you can get lost back here. There's nothing going on. If you didn't have a mini-map, you'd never know where to go. Oh my God, there's a droid in this alleyway. Nah, I don't like that. Even the AI doesn't know what to do with this map. And maybe that's part of the reason why they took this map out originally when they made Battlefront 2. Because at first this was just a Battlefront 1 map, but you can imagine being a developer of that game and thinking to yourself, yeah, we didn't finish that level at all. It's completely clunky. It's full of creepy backroom vibes. So maybe that starts to explain it. You know, it's just a flat ground with a bunch of buildings plopped on it, right? Not very thoughtful. And as a kid, you wander around all these and you try to jump over them as Darth Vader just for a chance to glimpse the edge of the map like this, you know? This is what it was all about for me. It's getting to look out into that abyss and see absolutely nothing. Being totally lost in all these weird intra-building alleyways that they put no thought into whatsoever. Darth Vader's lost in the back rooms of Bespin. He's never gonna get out. Bespin is a weird map. Always felt like a weird map. It was always my favorites from the first game, and I don't know if that's part of it or if it's just because I really liked the or if it's just because I really liked, you know, seeing the movie locations, which was definitely part of it. And even some of the places on this map that you're supposed to go, like this courtyard is weird. Nobody goes down here when they play this game. Like these benches, this is the only thing in the whole level that is meant to... Would you leave me alone, for God's sake? This is the only place in the entire level that is... Alright. You guys gotta get out of these goddamn turrets. It's driving me crazy. This is the only thing in the entire level that's meant to, like, be for a human being, you know? Everything else in this level is either Star Wars location or buildings with no doors, no benches, no functioning windows. These benches are the only thing that you actually see in this level that is, like, signs of life, you know? And maybe that's part of why it's so creepy. It's because there's no sign of life anywhere else in it. I love that level. Anyway, that's all I got for you for creepy spaces, okay? Send it back to Ether Me. Let's wrap this video up. Well, I hope that was a nice little trip back through memory lane for you. Battlefront 2, you know, it's an interesting game because it's a very high-budget property, but it was clearly very rushed. I think between the first and the second game, they had something like a year, maybe 13 months to make that whole game based on what they did in the first game. And obviously, they did very well. It's a fantastic game. It holds up pretty well. And frankly, if there are, you know, 15 or 16 of you guys who want to hop in a Discord, get on Xbox Live, and do a little capture the flag, just post a little link in the comment. We'll get something going, because I could use a good night at Battlefront 2. Thanks so much for watching this video. If there are other places in Battlefront 2 that you think I should have looked at, other odd and unremarkable locations that you have been to that you want me to see, post those in the comments down below. If there are other games you want me to cover for this series, post those in the comments down below as well. And if you enjoyed this video, please post a comment saying, hey, I liked this video, make more videos like this. That will let me know that I should keep making videos like this, as opposed to making other videos. If you want to support the channel and you want to support this type of content, of course, you can go to www.patreon.com/AnyAustin. You can also go to, surprise announcement, AnyAustin.fun. That's AnyAustin, no spaces, .fun, in order to purchase merch. This is one of our odd and unremarkable shirts. The ones on the merch store look a little bit different. They have a cooler layout than this. This is very simple. This is for the Ocarina of Time episode. These are 3 of the locations we looked at in that episode. There's other merch up there as well. If you want to go support that way, you can certainly do that. But if you want to just leave a comment, leave a like, you know, hey, this is all about the algorithm here, so help out whichever way you want to do. And if you didn't hit the bell, for God's sake, hit the bell. Full disclosure, I've literally never hit the bell for anyone in my goddamn life. Never have, never will. So I don't blame you if you don't, but it does help me if you do. Anyway, that's it. I've only got one more thing to say. In my free time, I make a lot of music, and surprise announcement number 2, a lot of that music's going to be coming out on July 1st. You can find it by searching The Excellent Man from Minneapolis on whatever streaming service you want to. If you'd like a little taste, I use all my music in my videos, so please today, enjoy the song. Shut the fuck up, you don't know nothing. Nah. Shut the fuck up, you don't know nothing. Shut the fuck up, you don't know nothing. Shut the fuck up, you don't know nothing. Ding, 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 ding. I like that. Bonus content. The vibes in this room are insane. Wow. Insane in a good way. I want a room like this in my house.